seems. Until we take control, we just puppets on a string. I'm always talking how one should think. How the words that they speak always seem so bleak. Probably cause I feel it's more than life than what they teach. Concern how they corrupt the minds in which they reach. Is it cause we out of tune with church and don't fear God? These mental thieves get away with minds they rob. The world's in disarray, I mean we all at odds. Separated from each other like we live in pods. Elites controlling minds through insidious ways. They treat us like rats, we all trapped in a maze. They turn us into addicts, all stuck in a daze. They suppress our depression till it turns into rage. Race wars, the music that we stream, politics, religion, anything in between. Life's an illusion, it ain't always what it seems. Until we gain control, we just puppets on a string.
That was Puppets on a String by our guest Abstrak Mind tonight, off his forthcoming album entitled Muse. And yo, AM, I have to tell you, because it works out perfectly that you mentioned how much you listened to Tupac earlier, because when I heard Puppets on a String, I could immediately hear Tupac on that song. Like, that's something I totally would hear him doing.
If I can resurrect that brother for one day just to get his vocals, I would do it.
We're going to talk Tupac up before the show is over, because we're talking about holograms and resurrecting dead folks and whatnot. He might appear before the end of the show. We'll see. But that song is dope, and shout out you. The voice you heard before the song, of course, was Jeff Gibbs that you heard on saxophone. So shout out to Jeff Gibbs on that as well. And speaking of Jeff Gibbs, he was also with you on Sunday. So Sunday, as I mentioned before, was a semicolon series that Kamahachi Lounge put on by Be Powerful, which are the homies Leroy Hawkins, Steve Tapas was there, the Jeff Gibbs Quartet, D2G was there, DJ Monty, just a lot of very good friends of mine, and I know that the event was supposed to bring awareness to mental health issues and suicide prevention, and Abstrak Mind was a part of that event on Sunday. Was that something that was important for you to do? Like, how did someone invite you to be part of the show, or how did that come about?
I'm going to tell you something crazy that literally recently happened. But as far as D2G reached out to me, he was like, bro, I need you to be a part of this event. He knows it's right up the alley of what I try to do. And,
right.
I'm like, whatever D2G asks for, I got him.
Right, same here.
So I did it. Yeah, D2G is a really good brother. So, he asked me to do the event. I did it. I support the cause. It was what's up, brother? Mm-hmm. But it's a guy from the hip-hop community named Mike One, and D2G's father just passed,
right.
due to suicide as well.
Right.
But a cat named Mike One had made a post on Facebook, and I don't think anybody took it serious initially. But he had wrote a suicide note, and he's a really important cat in the hip-hop community. Like, I didn't know him, but to see the amounts of love that he got,
yeah, he did.
From that, like, just. Yeah, people were like, I was shocked, to see that many people being connected to him and to not have a clue that he was dealing with what he was dealing with that will ultimately, force him to take his life from it, man. I was definitely down for that. But, without putting any names out there, I literally just got an email today, from a very, very close friend of mine. He literally wrote me and said, yo, I'm about to check out.
Wow.
No lie. Early this morning, and I just instantly was like, wow. We just did this show about mental illness and suicide, and here it is today. Somebody that it means a lot to me, that was there for me in some of my darkest moments in life. He's telling me that he's ready to give up on life himself. It was crazy. So, that show now means even much more to me than it initially did. So,
Yeah, I can imagine.
Check on your people. Check on your people. You
Absolutely.
do not know what people are going through. Check on them. If they mean something to you, check on them.
Yeah, even the ones that you think can take care of themselves, right? Like we all have those friends or those family members that we feel are the strong ones, right? We feel like they can take on anything, or they always know how to handle everyone else's issues, but sometimes they're the very one that you need to check on because they do carry so much of a burden, from everyone else, and people don't really think to check on them. They don't have anyone calling to say, "How are
Mm-hmm.
you doing? What do you need, or how can I help you?" So mental
Yep.
illness is real. It's a real thing. It's nothing to laugh about.
Nope.
Suicide is real. I there are a couple of people that are very very close to me who have made suicide attempts. Or
Wow.
there are a couple of people that are very close to me who battle mental illness. So when I saw that you guys were doing that, I was even really moved, by that. I wasn't able to be there, of course, because I'm here in Atlanta now, but that was really important to me that you guys took the time, to do that. So it's something that's very near and dear to me, as well. So, like Am said, check on your people, especially if they seem like they are not themselves. Instead of saying, oh, they're
Yeah.
having a bad day, they'll get over it, or they always come out on top. Never take that for granted. Reach out to people, check on people, tell people you love them when you love them.
Yep.
I made a post about that just a couple of weeks ago on Facebook. If you love someone, tell them. And it doesn't have to be like, sometimes we resort to like our childhood, little boys and girls. Ew, I can't say I love him. It's a boy. No, I'm very, my friends will tell you, even if they are of the opposite sex. If that's my friend, and I love you. Family, friend, no matter what the relationship is, love carries all different types of, connotations. So, just make sure people know that you're there. If nothing else, just say, if you ever need to talk to me, I'm here. And even if you can't really find the answer to help them, there are all types of information you can get on suicide prevention, hotline numbers to call. Go to your local church or your church home if you have a church home. There are all types of ways to be there for those people. So, shout out to you guys for doing that on Sunday. That means a lot and to a whole lot of people. I'm praying for your friend that sent you that message today, because that's very serious. So I hope that he's going to be okay.
Absolutely.
And moving right along, I didn't want to put a damper on the show, but that was important to me. And I kept saying all day, I was like, I'm gonna talk to him about the semicolon series. So I'm gonna assume because they're calling it a series that they'll do it again. I have not talked to Royce or Tu or any of them to find out when the next one will be, but I'm assuming there'll be another one. So you guys be on the lookout for that from the Be Powerful team, and make sure that you can attend that if you can, and if you can attend and you want to donate, they will make provisions for you to do that as well. So,
Absolutely.
moving right along, so kind of tell us what this album Muse that's coming out. Do you kind of have an anticipated release date on that yet?
You know what? And again, all the artists out there feel me on this. It's so hard to put dates on it. Like, I'm in a mixing phase.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a little behind the scenes things for you people. I'm just in a mixing and mastering phase. The project is done. All of the material is already recorded. It's just hard to put a date on it because, the mixing and mastering phase is taking a little bit longer than I expect, but it's definitely going to be out, before this year ends. I can't tell you which month, but definitely expect it, sometime before the year is out.
Cool. We'll be checking out for that. I know I will be looking for that. And as I said, we still have a few minutes left in the show. If you are listening live and you have a question for Abstrak Mind or comment, please feel free to chime in on the chat feature. AM has logged in as well, is chatting it up with people in the chat room, so you guys can get on there as well. So we'll shout you out on the radio, but if you have something private, you can feel free to hit him there as well. And that that can be between the two of you. But in any case, we do have another exclusive that you've brought, and that one is called Need Love. Tell us about Need Love before we get into that.
Need Love, wow, produced by George Jackson III again. I'm telling you, this guy's really good. And it actually features him vocally. He sings. So look,
wow.
George is actually, man, he's so influential on this project. I'm so blessed to be working with him because he's handling a lot of production on it. He's recording, he's mixing, he's mastering a lot of stuff. So he's taking on a very huge load for this project, and I'm so demanding. I'm so particular and nitpicky. But anyway, Need Love is just a record about, this is a song that I deal with a lot of, because of my background and how I grew up in life, it affects my personal relationships with women. And they often end on bad notes, meaning we break up, and it's always because it's so hard for me to allow a certain type of love just to receive it. So this song was meant for when people hear this. This is about what I want and hope to get at some point when dealing with women. You know, it's an uphill battle for me. You know, I've had some incredible relationships, but you know, internally I deal with a lot of stuff, and you know, hopefully musically when they listen to this, they understand. This is just me being honest and saying, hey, I suck at this love thing, but, you know, I do want it, and one day when I receive it, I'll be able to give it back how it's been given to me. So, yeah.
Well, I heard that. Can't knock the honesty on that one. So I think a lot of us out there appreciate it. It's a whole lot better than, you know, some of the BS we get from some of y'all out there. So thank you for that song. So we're going to check out Need Love off the forthcoming album from Abstrak Mind entitled Muse, and we will be right back.
Yo, this your man Christopher Lamart, showing some love to my homegirl Carla Brown, a.k.a. Boogie Nights. She support the dopest, I support the dopest, and you should too. So get in tune by logging on to Support the Dope Radio. Let's go.
I pack up and I start running. That's what you do when you know that you scared of something, See, this love that you've been given, there's nothing wrong with it, I'm just scared of commitment. I know I need some healing, but you can't prescribe what is needed without permission. I'm treating submitting like an indictment, enlighten you on what I'm internally fighting. Need love. Give it love without a limit. You witness the bare soul, then you covered it like linen. Provide shelter like landlords for tenants. If perfection is existing, God symbolize the image. Hammer in hand, you chipped away until that wall broke. You bettered this man, cause what's inside you never lost hope. A pillar to belief that's inside you, you never budged. Forever grateful, because if you receive love, receive love. I receive love. Oh, I receive love, love. I receive love. Oh, love. Went through the phases. This feeling, it's amazing. Because of you, my heart is wider than a crater. What's inside is running wild, I can't contain it. You've changed my perspective, outlook, no longer tainted. Hey, a young man feeling all grown now, wanna turn his house into